Brace yourself for impact. It's 2:06 a.m. Let's go fly!
What up, it's Damon.
It's Joe and
It's Damon and Joe, and we are two travel YouTubers.
And our YouTube channel focuses on young, funny, Morocco's kinda hot, down-to-earth, relatable travel experiences.
Where's my passport? Where's my passport? Have you seen my passport?
Because travel is not always so polished, and we show the good, the bad, the ugly.
What happens when I have to use the restroom?
And we do it in multiple languages, so you
French.
T'es française? Salut!
Spanish,
Portuguese, Italian,
German,
Greek, and Arabic.
Combien les trucs comme ça?
Falando o nome dele errado.
I started learning Russian the other day just for some reason. I think it's because I met like a hot guy. So I started learning
Okay, you don't need me.
So we were into travel vlogging before travel vlogging was a career. We were doing this to document the experiences that we were having while studying abroad in Paris.
And remember, if it's free, it's for me and it's for you too.
We looked at it and we're like, wait, there's never been a young travel show like this, specifically not with two kids that look completely opposite, who share the same vision and who both speak multiple languages when they're traveling. We need to pitch this to TV. We spent the first 2 years fighting to get into these executives' offices. We all say the same thing. Damon and Joe, you guys are so cute. But young travel will never sell. So then we're like, boop, YouTube.com.
Created a channel, started uploading videos once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week in different languages.
When we first started the channel, we had to spam everybody on Facebook. We used to message our friends, "Watch your new video, it's really good." Nobody cared. For travel vloggers, it's not easy to grow because unless somebody's going to that tiny town in Thailand, they're not gonna Google it. It took us maybe 4 years to become full-time.
We were working tons of odd jobs, and that was the main reason we weren't taking it seriously, because we had to pay New York City rent.
It was like the struggle. You were just living to survive, not thrive. We moved to Los Angeles with a carry-on suitcase each, no family, no friends out there, maybe $2,000 between both of us saved. We convinced this crappy building to let us share a 2-bedroom apartment. We showed them the graphs were going up in our like revenue from AdSense. We lived together, and every single day we sat at the kitchen table, poorly built because it was IKEA, and we worked.
Our channel's turning point happened when we decided, like, we love learning languages, we love traveling, but every piece of content out there that is existing is dusty, rusty, and crusty.
And musty.
And musty. We wanted to teach languages the way that we wanted to learn them. We wanted to know how to flirt with the Brazilian. We wanted to know how to sound cooler in French. Form your mouth like you're about to go in for the worst kiss of your life. U, and then push out the U. U, V, D, Q. That means ass.
We infused a relatable spin on something that's naturally not relatable. And that's like where the channel blew up.
You know how much money we made that day?
How much?
41 cents.
See, we was rolling in the dough. I just want to be able to buy 1 cup of coffee with our YouTube channel money. Now at least we could kind of each have a sip.
The bulk of our money as YouTubers comes from sponsored gigs.
So Damon would basically be like, Joe, I want to do this idea for a video. What do you think? And I'll be like, that's awesome. We could couple that with these 3 companies and I'm going to send emails and pitch to them. Like if you're not pitching, you're not making money.
I'm such a business professor. Because time is money, and if you're not pitching, then you're not winning.
We will record a video, or we will write an article, because in addition to our channel, we also have a company called Shut Up and Go, where we elevated the model that you see in our videos on YouTube, but now we have a base of contributors that are global, and they're also living the Shut Up and Go lifestyle.
It's a fully functioning business on its own, whether or not you know that we're a part of it or not.
We looked at all the content that we produced as inventory.
We used to be those influencers who were like, I don't want anybody taking 10% of my money that I worked hard for. No, you're actually losing money because adding a manager and agent,
The right ones.
they're adding a legitimacy factor, and then they're the ones who are adding those zeros. I remember when we started getting checks and we're
a
like,
zero appeared out of nowhere. 75% of the money comes from brand deals. 5% comes from being hired on as talent. And then 10% comes from passive income, which is like AdSense money from our videos and our site. And then the last 10% comes from like a book deal or like merchandise that we're selling. Because we have a team, everybody takes their cut.
Right, like sometimes we get those emails and I'm like, dang, like they're gonna pay us that much? And then I'm like, okay, minus for the manager, minus for the accountant.
It's like a
minus for the
scroll
publicist,
of deduction. I went broke in this country. Prices are actually absurd. Other things like visas. We had to form our LLC. That cost money. We had to pay for the trademark for Shut Up and Go.
Paying for rent when we're never there.
Or a storage unit. And we should have a P.O. box, because who's getting my mail? We didn't come from money.
This is the first time that we actually are starting to get it.
Like, we will be rich and have broke person mentality, which will allow us to stay rich. They called me a burger because I bargain really well. What we make is enough to sustain our lifestyle. So we're thinking of how to reinvest all the money that we make into our company. We're gonna start doing group trips, which is like redefining the very like touristy like tour. And then from there, who knows, like teaching language school, like develop a study abroad program.
This could keep going and going.
Open hostels. Like,
travel vlogging is not the only way to travel the world. That's just how we make our living. But you could also be a flight attendant. You could teach English abroad.
If you're wanting to do what we do, know that there are thousands and thousands of people doing it right now.
Worst comes to worst, get on Tinder, find someone abroad, get married. Close it out. Turn the camera off, Joanne.